What's up, guys? I'm super excited to show you my baby today, the 2012 C63 AMG Black Series. This car is unbelievable, and I think, in my opinion, I made it more incredible for me. Knowing the way that I like to drive, I did some things to it that are going to make a huge difference for myself. If you can tell that it's a little bit lower, then you have a great eye, because it is a tiny bit lower. It's a 1/4 inch lower. Because it has adjustable suspension, we lowered it a tiny bit, not too much. I don't like when the flares when the cars sit too low. I like it just right. Even, you know, I like it to have a little bit of a wheel gap. I don't like to have it slammed, let's say. But yeah, let me show you this gem. Look at her. Finally, after a long wait, we got everything done to the car the way I wanted. It's a beautiful roll cage. I'm super excited about this roll cage. This is not a steel roll cage, it's a chromoly roll cage right there. This was done by Studio RSR. Really amazing work. Their work is incredible. Even when they send it to you, the packaging is insane. You take a long time to unpack the packaging. So credits to them. This is all custom made for this vehicle, for the Black Series. They do cages for everything, for BMWs, C63s, things like that, M cars, and even Supras, and lots of cool stuff. This one I'm in love with because we actually got the Sebelt seats also custom fitted for this car. These brackets were custom made for the car, and you know how bucket seats are not really comfortable sometimes? These are pretty comfortable. They're definitely more comfortable than the Recaros. I've tried sitting in the Recaros. They were a bit too aggressive for me, and plus I like to match the kind of Alcantara and things like that. I don't really like to have leather bucket seats. That's just me as a personal opinion. Yeah, but I wanted to show you this. Something that's really cool that I'm very proud of is on these seats, they really suit the vehicle, because the vehicle has a lot of red accents. The original stitching is red stitching in the car, is black and red stitching with carbon fiber. So these seats come with a red stripe in the middle from Sebelt. And also, originally I wanted the roll cage in black, but I got it in red, and I think it worked out way better because it suits and complements the red accents, including the red brake calipers. One thing I did want to mention that I'm really proud of is these AMG embroiders. These are original from AMG. They're not nothing on this car is like aftermarket or things like that, with exception of the seats and the roll cage. Everything else is Mercedes-Benz, is original. I want to keep this car as original as possible. The reason I put the roll cage is not just for looks, and not just because I want to track it every once in a blue moon, but also, one, when I slide around and I drive, usually my passenger wobbles around and almost ends in my lap. So this kind of helps with that. But the other thing is, for those that don't know, they made about 20 of them, maybe 1 or 2 more, plus minus something, 25 of them from factory with roll cages. However, the factory roll cage came for only looks. It didn't have the 2 X's. This is actually race approved. This cage can be raced in, like it's homologated for a race car. So I looked into making the OEM cage. However, it didn't really suit my purpose to create a roll cage exactly the same as the factory roll cage, but with no purpose really. You can't really use race harnesses. You can't really do aggressive stuff with it. So I wanted the real deal. So I decided to get an actual roll cage that's equipped to hold harnesses and stuff. And yeah, there she is. That's the final result. One thing I'll say about the seats and the whole package, it does make you feel more connected to the car, because once you sit secure, you feel the bumps more, you feel everything more. When you're sliding around, you can be more sensitive with the car. It gives you more feedback, because if you think about it, when you're driving, you get a lot of feedback from your ass. It's not a joke, I'm being serious. You get a lot of feedback from your ass. That's where you get a lot of the vibrations and a lot of the sensations coming from the road. It's translating from the tires to the steering to the chassis to your butt. So the more you become one with the car, I think the better it is. And again, I don't think that's an opinion, that's a fact, but that's how I feel. So yeah, let's take a look also from the passenger side. Super cool. And again, even the passenger, let's say based on your height, you can adjust the seat. You can go backwards, you can go forward, you can do whatever you want. And these seats, again, bucket seats are not the most comfortable thing, but these are pretty freaking comfortable for being bucket seats. They're not the most aggressive bucket seats. Like, they don't have the brace coming out from here as well to hold the helmet inside and things like that. So you still get some comfort with them. And the reason I got these seats, people think I'm gonna track this car. I'm not really gonna track this car much. I love the way it looks with the cage. I think it suits the car perfectly, but honestly I love the way it is from factory. Everything is reversible. That's the thing. There's no welding done here. Not that I am gonna reverse it. I'm gonna keep it the way it is because I'm super happy with it. But when you look from the front of the car, that's the only way you're gonna notice this thing has racing harnesses, cage, and fire extinguisher, things like that. Like, they're apparent from here. But then you go to the side of the car, looks just like a regular Blackseries, even from the back. Even with high beam, sunshine, whatever you want to say, you're not going to be able to tell that it has any roll cage whatsoever. And I like that. It's got it. It's a bit discreet. The only time you get to see it is once you're in the front. You get to see the X's and everything in the back. Makes it look more aggressive. All right. I used to go down there and U-turn. Now I can't even get there. There's like a huge pothole with a bunch of clay and stuff inside it, so I don't want to get the car over there. That's why I'm doing a 360, well, a 180 turn in the middle of this road. I just think this looks so cool. Like, it works for this car so well because this is the way it's meant to be. I'm not doing anything new. I'm not doing anything special. Like I said, there's a limited number of C63 Black Series that came from the factory with a roll cage, but it was more of a, like I said, looks wise. So to have an actual functional roll cage that does the job perfectly with seats, and I really love the fact that I have the embroidery. It makes things look as OEM as possible, because exterior wise I wouldn't touch this car. And if, to be honest, if this was a roll cage that I had to weld on the car, I wouldn't do it. But since it's a bolt-on, I'm gonna keep it this way. I'm absolutely in love with it. Car is so mean. It's so freaking mean. Man. This is why you see people that buy this car, they're like, they're never gonna sell it, and it's such an underrated car. I think for the value, there's 2 of them for sale right now in the US, in California, and I think whoever gets those at the current price range, I think they're asking $125 or something like that for them each. It's a bargain. It's a steal at this price. And for a car like this that gives you this type of feeling, what in the world can you get for that kind of money right now? You may need to spend some money on them, because obviously you get them for that price, but they are second-hand cars. You change brakes, you change this. Like, I would say save five to 10,000 and the car will be perfect. If you really want to go overboard, you do what I did. I changed everything and I went crazy. I spent a lot on this car, and I went overboard with carbon fiber stuff and things like that, because I am keeping this car. This is not a car that I'm gonna ever sell. Such a monster. I'm in love with this thing. Super cool. Oh, and by the way, one more thing, the passenger seat is a little bit larger than my seat. My seat is fitted exactly for me. The passenger seat is actually made bigger because in case I want to take, everybody comes in different shapes and sizes. So if I want to take my dad, if I want to take my mom, if I want to take some friends, so even if someone's a little bit chunky, this will be fine for them. This is the extra large one, the other one's the large, I believe. But yeah, I think it's really cool. I also put a fire extinguisher, which is a quick release fire extinguisher. It's really nice. It's not a full race fire extinguisher where it's connected. I didn't want to mess with the body and things like that. It's just a normal fire extinguisher that's a quick release. You can just take it out quickly and use it as needed. God forbid we never have to need ever the roll cage or the fire extinguisher, but I just like having them. And on a car like this, it's a shame because those 25 or 20 Black Series that they made for with the roll cage, sorry, they only went to Europe and GCC. I think they went to Gulf. Other than that, we didn't get any of them in the USA, which is a shame because they are so beautiful with the roll cage, and I was kind of pissed off that I couldn't have them. FYI, even the bucket seats, it's not that I did something new or I ruined the car. No, the actual Black Series should come with bucket seats, and the option, it's an option to go with the comfort seats, such as the ones that I removed. So technically what I did is I returned the Black Series the way it should be, but with my touches. Instead of going Recaro, I went with Sebelt. And even with the new AMG GTR Pro, the roll cage is an option. You get it in Europe, you can have it with a roll cage. Here you can't have it with a roll cage in the US. It's not DOT approved. So yeah, I'm just glad that we got to do it like that. I feel like she's meant to be like this because she's really stiff. This car can fool someone. By looking at it, you might not think it's a very stiff vehicle, but once you drive it, you kind of understand that the KW suspension is a very, very stiff suspension. This, which is from 2012, is more stiff than, let's say, a 2021.2 GT3 RS. 100%. This car is really, really stiff, which sometimes can be annoying depending where you are. But like I said, here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the roads are fantastic. Like, we have great roads. I'm not gonna bash countries, but some places that I've been to and I've gotten to try these things, it was brutal on the suspension. Can't stop looking at this. It's just so good. I love the cage, I love the paint, I love the powder coating on it. I love the embroidery here with the AMG, Sebelt and AMG. It just looks really, really perfect to me. And it drives amazing. I love sitting and actually being one with the vehicle, so it's amazing. One more thing that we didn't get in the USA for Black Series, because they say there's less than 77 of them. They should be technically 77 on paper in the United States and Canada. However, a lot of them, I believe one or two crashed, and the others were imported overseas because you couldn't really buy these. You couldn't get an allocation when they were new. So yeah, a lot of them left to other countries. So there's definitely less than 77 in the country. But back to my point, we didn't get the solid roof. We got a sunroof. So as you can see here, the Black Series in the United States come with this sunroof. I personally don't like this. I like the full solid roof. I like a proper coupe. This is really nice because you can actually open it and it works. But I think on a Black Series, like, this car really drives so stiff. It drives so aggressive. It's so loud. It's almost like comparing a Carrera S Porsche with a Targa. I just love the fact I don't really like sunroofs, or I don't like convertibles. When it's a very, very sporty car, I don't like convertibles or sunroofs. I'll definitely take sunroof over a convertible because it's still a coupe. You still have the braces and everything. It's just this piece here is glass. So I'm thinking of making that a carbon fiber piece, a solid carbon fiber piece that does not open and does not close. Kind of got that idea from BMW, the way they do their M cars. They make a carbon roof. So for the Black Series, I think it would save a lot of weight. Not that I give a crap right now about weight, but I just don't like the look of a sunroof. But from the outside, you will never be able to tell that this here is glass. But again, some people say that's more unique because 800 units worldwide, only 77 of them came this way, so that makes it more special. I just like a proper standard coupe. I like simplicity. I don't like to complicate things too much. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. It's just going to be pretty difficult to get someone to actually mold this into a piece of carbon fiber with the correct angle. Like, this needs to be molded properly and done really, really correctly with the proper thickness as well, because I wouldn't want to go with a really thin piece of carbon fiber on the roof of this car. Finally home, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's it. I just wanted to show you exactly what I did to the detail and things like that. And yeah, I'm just happy how it turned out. It turned out looking super OEM, super factory. I like to have things done properly to the point where if you look at them, you don't know if they're aftermarket or factory. Obviously the cage is aftermarket and the seats are aftermarket. However, like I said, this is the way the C63 Black Series should have been from the beginning, in my opinion. And again, it's always reversible, so nothing is permanent. That's one thing I like about the setup that I did, is that if in case I want to return it to the original spec, I have everything, the seats and all that stuff, so we can go back. But to be honest with you, I don't really see myself going back from this. It suits me and my driving way better. I think the car looks way better with it, and I think it serves a very important purpose for me. It's just one, safer even for highway use. Again, I'm not going to really track this car much, but I do tend to slide around a lot, for those that know me. And again, it's safer for me, safer for my passenger, and when I want to have fun with the car and someone's a passenger, they can just strap on the harnesses, fasten down, and they'll feel more relaxed than just with a regular seatbelt. Because honestly, sometimes the person that's sitting next to me is literally gonna end up in my lap, which is not cool. So yeah, for safety reasons, for looks, I didn't see a negative at all. Like, I tried to evaluate the pros and the cons. I saw a lot of pros, not a lot of cons. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.